Well, as we've been reporting, Donald Trump's plan would appoint a board of peace chaired by the president as an oversight body, led by a committee that does include former Prime Minister Tony Blair. And Tony Blair has put out a statement in response to President Trump's announcement just in the last few minutes. And I'm going to read that out to you. I don't know if we can put it on our screen, but President Trump has put down a bold and intelligent plan, which, if agreed, can end the war, bring immediate relief to Gaza, the chance of a brighter and better future for its people, whilst ensuring Israel's absolute and enduring security and the release of all hostages. He goes on to say, it offers us the best chance of ending 2 years of war, misery and suffering, and I thank President Trump for his leadership, determination and commitment. In particular, his willingness to chair the Board of Peace to oversee the new Gaza is a huge signal of support and confidence in the future of Gaza, of the possibility of Israelis and Palestinians finding a path to peace, and of the potential for a broader regional and global alliance to counter the forces of extremism and promote peace and prosperity between the nations. So that is former Prime Minister Tony Blair, who, as we said, has also been named as one of the people alongside Donald Trump to be part of that oversight body led by a committee that does include Tony Blair himself. Now, in a moment, we'll speak to our Middle East correspondent, Adam Parsons. But first, let's go to our US correspondent, Mark Stone, at the White House. And Mark, I guess, reporters everywhere, Palestinians themselves, are scrambling to figure out exactly what this 20-point plan means. But we've just seen that statement there from Tony Blair. As you said to me earlier, the only two people in this document named is Donald Trump and Tony Blair.
Yeah, and that alone is pretty breathtaking, that they can be the only people who anyone is willing to put down on paper as the two people who will be at the top of this interim governing body that will manage Gaza in the short term. Look, I think it was so telling that two men who love to spar with the media, who love to answer questions, decided on this occasion not to face the music, not to face the many, many questions that many people have got. And the reason for that is because they just don't have the answers. I mean, on the face of it, they will say it's because they don't want to jeopardize this delicate process. But this morning, we were being led to believe that this was it, as James so perfectly put it at the beginning of his report, that this was peace in the making. But it's clear that it's not. One key part of this is missing, and that is Hamas. Like it or not, they have to be part of any peace proposal that comes, because in simple terms, at its simplest, they are holding the hostages. And if those hostages are to be released, then clearly they have to buy into this. And the noises coming out of the Middle East tonight, I'm sure Adam will go into it, are not very positive at all. And to that, the response from Donald Trump is pretty chilling, effectively, or not effectively, in black and white, saying today in that news conference, if Hamas doesn't agree, well then, Bibi, as he said, you will do what you need to do. Basically, a green light to continue and to go much further in Gaza. So many unanswered questions. It appears to me that what has happened once again is that the Americans and the Israelis are negotiating with each other and then coming up with an ultimatum that they are presenting to Hamas. Now, don't be fooled. There is, in no sense, is Hamas a good faith negotiator in any of this, not a good faith actor in any of this. Of course not. But if you are to try and find some sort of resolution, some compromise, some end to the conflict, then they have to be part of it. Either that or Israel continues with what it's doing in Gaza, and we've seen what that looks like over the past more than 700 days, continue until the bitter end, and what is left of Gaza then. So many unanswered questions. And look, to your point, you raised Tony Blair. I put it to a official in the West Bank, a well-respected advisor to the Palestinian Authority, of course, distinct from Hamas, but also a body that has absolutely no say in this document, in what happens in Gaza until they have reformed, a kind of loose promise to give them some access to the future of Gaza once they've reformed. When will that be? But look, I put the point about Tony Blair to this official. I mean, mean, I think his answer speaks volumes. He says Palestinians in general don't see Mr. Blair as anything else than a war criminal and a mercenary, and do not expect anything positive coming from his involvement in a region that he has already damaged. The legacy of the Iraq War, Tony Blair's legacy, that is the Iraq War, continues to haunt him. And I think for many people across the Middle East, it will be nothing short of breathtaking that he is being named effectively as a kind of interim prime minister of the Gaza Strip.